Well, we're in Kentucky for the rut hunt this year. Basically all I'm doing this morning pretty much is just driving around, and I've never been here before to this area, so I figured it'd be beneficial for me to kind of get a feel for what it's like and what the terrain is and what the woods look like, and seeing if I can find something that looks decent just from driving, like an area that looks good. I did see a big buck a while ago across the road, so everybody else in camp is already out hunting today, so we got 2 bucks down so far in camp, and like I said, I've never been here, so I just wanted to check it out and see what it's like in here, so I'm gonna be doing that. I really want to go look at some boat ramps and things and see what the access on the water would be like. I did want to scout pressure, and so far I've only seen 1 truck in here. I mean, it was probably half a mile back or so. I wanted to be able to do that before I get in a kayak and come all the way over here. I wanted to make sure there's not 25 trucks lined up on this road. So yeah, so Kentucky 2020 rut hunt about to start. I wanted to look to see if I could put a kayak in at the end of this road, and it looks like I can pretty freaking easy. Guys, this is a great example of scouting specifically for kayak access spots. This whole time I've been thinking I was pretty much just gonna have to go to a ramp that's way the freak over that way. Like, it's going to be about 6 miles to get to this area that I'm wanting to hunt, and anything else that's back that direction. It was going to be a long time, a long trip. Some of these roads like this that go all the way to the water may be a good spot to launch at. That's not marked on Onyx as a boat ramp. It's not marked as anything. It's just a road. But that's an easy spot. I mean, you see how easy that little incline right there would be. It'd be super easy for me to pull my truck down this road and back into there. And that cuts my kayak, my time, probably more than half. It's a great example of why you want to go to an actual area before you just assume something. That coffee's setting in. I think I'm gonna take a nice morning deuce by the water. Well, I am thankful that my 4-wheel drive works. That was rough. Got my intel though. About 2-ish miles or so, maybe more, that way is the water. And there's a ramp over here. There's a ramp over here on that side of it, but there's this one road that makes a big U and goes all the way down to the water and then comes back over here. Where it comes back up to the main road, up here, it's closed. It has a road closed sign, so there may be people hunting in the vicinity, but they're probably not going all the way back to the water, so I should have a good amount of land right there to work with if I go at it from the water. And this was, I mean, that was rough. My truck's 4-wheel drive and it's got good tires on it. And it took every bit of 4-low to get out of there. So, I've never got to use the 4-wheel drive on this truck. So it's nice to know that it works. What's up, Gregory? Kill a good one. This is good. It means the little trails that I can see on Onyx that go right here, and then there's another one that goes up top right there, has the same sign. there's a spot that I can put in way far that way, and the only real access to it would be these trails. Behind this point that you can see on the other side of this slough, there's another one that goes in, and I've been cyber scouting that as well. And so far, the intel that I've received just from doing this morning and not hunting, not going in blind to an area, and you know, that I don't know, that may not have any sign, may not hold any deer. Instead, I'm doing this and just scouting out all the access to the spots that I'm planning on hitting this week. It's a rut, boys. Big old bucks just chasing them does all over the place around here. Fresh scrape.
I'm sick of it. Very sick of it.
What?
Cut out that other
Deer hunting?
stuff. No, I'm using those stupid cameras.
My gear bin. Yeah, they're not in your
I'm over it. I got spoiled having a cameraman in North Dakota. I'd never hunted with a cameraman before, and now I don't want to haul my own crap. The biggest deer that I have ever seen in Georgia, I kayaked in the dark, and I rattled this buck in, and like right at daylight, rattled. He came in, and I'm like moving the camera to get on him to film the shot, and he sees me moving the camera and he bolted.
Are you done? Are you want to talk about it some more?
No.
Is Adrian here?
I have some advice for those of you that want to start self-filming. Don't do it. It's terrible.
Okay, every year.
That's going to do it for day one. We'll be back at it tomorrow. I just got set up. I didn't really like the spot that I was originally going to. On that saddle, there wasn't any sign in there. So I went a little bit further down the ridge. I found a couple scrapes, nothing crazy, but I set up on this pretty steep north-facing slope. The wind's coming at my back, kind of that way, I knew that's what it was going to do. There's not a ton of deer sign in this little area, so I'm not like all that optimistic. Alright, it's about 8 o'clock. I haven't seen anything. I heard some chasing back that way a little bit earlier, but I feel like I'm doing myself wrong by Not spending as much time scouting right now as I can. There's a freaking deer bedded right here. What the heck? How long has it been there? It's literally bedded right here. I have no idea how long that deer's been there. Around here it looks like significantly thicker from what I've been hunting. It's one thing to not see deer. It's another thing to walk that much and not find any sign. Good Lord. That's bad. On to somewhere else. Well, thank God for
Something
men like CROFT here.
That's the only thing I got of any
So
Okay.
underneath here, CROFT, I don't know how to explain it.
All right, so
I don't know what I'm talking about.
four-wheel drive works off of a transfer case. It's got two shafts that come off of it. One goes to the front, one goes to the rear, and then you have axle shafts that go to each wheel. Parker somehow broke a CV axle going to the right front tire, and I'm not gonna fix it right now because we don't have the part, but I am gonna give them back drivable. So, I mean, it just rounded that thing off.
What happens when you hunt out of a Summit tree stand? You ruin
All that
stuff.
extra weight.
All right, good morning. It's November the 11th. I'm freaking wore out. I obviously messed up my wheel yesterday. Pretty much spent the last 2 days just scouting. Like, I haven't really hunted a whole lot. The weather's been pretty crappy. It's been hot and muggy, but it's the rut and the deer are still chasing. Everybody's been seeing bucks. Planning on doing an all-day sit. So if you'll remember, the first day I drove to a spot right next to the water, and I drove to an access trail where I pointed out an area that was behind a point, and I wanted to check all of the access to that surrounding area. It is one of the only chunks on this whole piece that really has a lot of isolation, I guess you could say. It's far enough away from a road that it's it'd be tough to get in. I'm sure people do get in there, but it'd be tougher than a lot of the other areas just because there's so many roads. And my plan is to hunt a really cool looking saddle, a ridge coming off of another ridge, kind of a finger ridge off of the main one. And right where it splits off of that main one, there's a saddle right there that's actually pretty stinking defined. And so I'm just going to go and check it out and see what I can find on it. I'm planning on setting up at least for a little bit. I brought all my lunch and I've got enough for to last me till dark. So I plan on staying out until dark. If I don't see any deer this morning, I plan on just finding another spot in that area. I can guarantee you that there are going to be bucks somewhere around. It just makes a whole lot of sense to me. Usually in a place like this where there's a lot of pressure, even if it's not a long ways to get away from a road, I'm still coming at the deer from a different angle that they're not used to. And so far I haven't seen anybody using a boat. I'm going to get on the leeward side. The wind's finally coming out of the north today. It's not going to be super cold, but it's chilly at least. And I'm going to be on the south facing slope with the wind coming up over it, hoping those bucks are cruising the leeward side on the top third and using that saddle to scent check for does. That is my hope. We'll see if it works out. It's going to be a nice little kayak trip. It's about 1.5 miles to get over there. This water's pretty choppy. Like, I'm looking at it right now and it's like, it's not even that windy and the waves are hitting the shore pretty hard. So maybe a little bit rough getting over there, but my first day to really actually get after it and actually hunt. So let's do it. Oh my God, I just killed a good one. I was setting up. I was literally about to put my camera arm on. I guess he heard me breaking these tree limbs, and he came right down. He came right down the way right here. And he was out of range. He was in some really thick stuff. And I went, Matt. I didn't even have my stuff. Oh, he's down right here. He's laying down right here. He's a good one. I saw him crash. He ran 10 yards and fell over. Oh, I'm sorry. I was not going to shoot a deer off camera. But that got me freaking going. I literally just pulled my bow up. Look, I still got my quiver on the freaking bow. He's laying down dead. Oh my God. He died right there. I had to dip down. I had to dip down right through there. I dipped down right there and shot him at 30 yards. I mean, my headlamp's still on. I think he heard me raking these branches whenever I was getting all my lanes cleared out. And I saw him walk right through there. And I could hear him coming. As I was pulling my bow rope up, I could hear him. And he came walking right through there. And so I quickly pulled my bow up, got my release out of my pocket, and he got behind all this thick stuff right here. And I couldn't really see him, but I knew he was stopped because he knew something was over here. And so I said, Matt, like just as deep as I could. I don't have a deep voice and I don't do a good mouth grunt. But I said, Matt. And he walked a little bit closer, and then I did it again. I went, Matt. And then he just stopped. He walked, and he stopped right in there. I don't know what to say. I mean, I just killed a big buck in Kentucky. Holy crap. Oh, son.
Hello?
I got a big buck down.
I figured that'd be the only reason why you called me.
He's a
Good one.
yeah, he's a really good one. He ran 10 yards and crashed.
Oh, man. I'm so proud. I know that you're happy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, whenever you get a chance, send me pictures.
I will. I'm going to sit up here for a little bit.
Yeah.
Enjoy the day.
All right, man. I'm proud of you.
All right. Love you. Good luck. Bye. That's another good one. There's another big buck as I'm talking on the phone. There's a big buck right here. Good Lord. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get down and go look at this thing. I've seen 3 bucks. Got one on the ground, and the one I just saw was big. He is a giant. But I don't know if he's bigger than this one. This one looks pretty good. I just looked at him through the binos, and he looks really good. So, but I want to get down because I don't want a big old 2 hundo to walk out, because this seems like the kind of morning where one would walk out. And I wouldn't be able to shoot him. So I'm gonna get down. He's laying dead right over here. Here's my tree right here. That buck is laying dead right there. Oh man, he's big. Oh man. Oh geez, that main beam is massive. Oh man. Holy crap. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. There's no way. Oh my god. That's a freaking tank, man. Whew. This is incredible. Found my arrow. Looks pretty solid.
To check in your white-tailed deer, press 1. To check in you selected deer.
Just being an absolute peach.
Now I see why you like the kayak so much.
He quit his hunt during the rut to come and film this.
Heck yeah, that's an awesome buck, man. Yeah, that's a shooter. Congrats, that's
Thanks,
awesome.
dude.
That is awesome. Either way, he's a shooter. He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
He ain't gonna grow no more.
I don't care. I can't believe it. If you've watched any of the Southern Ground videos in the past about Kentucky specifically, nothing good happens to me in Kentucky. It's just inevitable. And when I go to Kentucky, something bad is gonna happen. Just bad things happen, like getting chased by hornets in the dark or getting poison ivy all over your face. Just stupid stuff like that continues to happen to me in Kentucky. This trip was it was no different. Like yesterday, you saw yesterday I broke an axle, the CV axle, I guess. Is that what it was, the CV axle? But that happened yesterday. Also, it happened to be the day that it rained. So luckily CROFT, who is a guy that's in camp with us, was a mechanic, and he got it fixed. I wasn't surprised, honestly. Like, I just wasn't surprised that it happened, because it's just how things happen for me in Kentucky. They say you need 3 days in a new place. I've never been here before. So in a new place, they say you need 3 days to scout, 3 days to hunt, and 3 years. I think it was 3 years to figure out what the deer are actually doing in that area. Coming in here in the first year and being able to kill a deer like this was, it's a surprise to me, honestly. But this saddle looked really good on a map. Me and Hunter were looking at a map yesterday with Greg Godfrey and a couple of guys at camp, and this is the spot that really stuck out to me the most. Number one, because it was the easiest to get to from my kayak. I could get here fairly quickly and also be able to get here pretty undetected from where I thought the deer would be traveling on this. So it's the first time this week that we've had a wind coming out of the north. So the wind was blowing over this secondary ridge, and it had this saddle. So I set up on the leeward side, right behind the camera right now. There's a dip, like a drainage that comes off of this saddle and goes down to that bottom. And so I set up on the leeward side, expecting those bucks to cruise whichever way they came from, to cruise with the wind coming up over the top and the thermals pulling up from the bottom once the sun heated up. And I expected them to use this saddle to pop up over here to scent check for any does that might be in the area. And like, it doesn't happen every day. You have some really bad days where this kind of crap doesn't work. But today, it was like, this is what's gonna happen if I see a deer in here. It was just an absolutely incredible morning. After I saw him, had another 8-point come in that y'all saw. I think I got pretty good footage of him. Then I had another big buck come in at like 20 yards. Another really good experience with the heavy arrows. Like, every deer has died under 100 yards. This deer died in 5 yards. So, I mean, this is by far the biggest bodied deer I've probably ever killed, because I hunt Alabama most of the time. Hunting in the South, you don't really find a lot of big bodied deer, but he went 5 yards with this arrow setup. It's just, if you're not a believer in it, if you think it's just all hype, okay, but my deer died in 5 yards. I can't explain to you how fired up I am about this buck in this state specifically. I feel like a curse got lifted today. We're gonna drag this joker out and get him back to camp and hopefully show him off a little bit. God, I'm so excited.